I am the People's Unboxer. I will give you a quality unboxing and review that is totally unbiased, and I will be as thorough as I possibly can. I've watched plenty of unboxing and review videos on YouTube, and I'm happy to start contributing. So this is the Orzly Switch carry case. I searched on Amazon for a travel case. I was originally looking for something that was like an all-in-one where I could put all of the accessories into a case. I ended up kind of settling on this, which there are a couple other models like this, but this was $17 on sale on Amazon Prime, and I liked the packaging. I thought that it was cool that it came in a box that had like some branding and stuff on it that made me feel more comfortable about it. This is the unit. I ordered it in black and it came in blue, so that was a surprise, but I actually like the blue. It has this handle, which is like a nylon with a rubber plastic feeling handle that's stitched in. The quality of the hard shell case is actually quite nice. It doesn't feel like a super hard plastic. It has more of a softer touch, kind of like kind of reminds me of that soft touch plastic that you see kind of in your cars, like on your dashboard. So it has kind of a nice feel that's molded. The zipper is pretty quality and nice. There's two zippers and they're zip very smoothly. So the inside of it is actually, I was really impressed with the build quality of the molding. So on the side where the switch goes, it's like a hard felt plastic. And this is kind of a soft felt protective cover that protects your accessories from your side of your switch. I would have liked to seen that be the full width of the unit and not just the width of the inside of the board, and I'll show you why it's later on why it's a little bit of a problem. There's a nice elastic pouch on that side for accessories, which we'll get into some of the sizing a little bit later, and then the game cartridge pouches are actually really pretty solid. So this is the case for my Switch. I got this a couple weeks ago. I wanted to do a video, but I never did. I wanted to mention it in this video because it's actually really nice, and I'll put a link to it in the review. It's a magnetic case that swings out to choose the spot, and like a magnetic plate that sticks onto the back of your Switch. And I was a little bit leery at first to attach it to my Switch, but after kind of checking out the build quality, I felt comfortable with it, and I put it on there, and everything is great. It works really well. So getting back to the travel case, so it's definitely, full-size case. It's made not to, use the unit in. It's really made as a travel case, and it's really made to keep your electronics safe and protected, and I think it does actually a pretty good job of that. You can see it slips in under those elastic bands, and I think it keeps it pretty well snug in there. Like, there was really little to no movement once it got on those elastic bands. So I was pretty pleased with that. You'll see here it's kind of hard to get out. So I would say would be a terrible kind of everyday case. I would say this is more to throw in your backpack to go on the plane, or maybe a long road trip. But let's see how the game disc or card kind of fits into those slots. And I mean, look, it's hard to lift that up. If you have big hands, it's going to be really difficult because you have to dig your finger up underneath that elastic band to lift it up, without having to kind of force the card in there. But once it's in there, it's definitely secure. It's not going to move around. You can't excuse me. You can't really see what the game is. So, I mean, if you have a ton of games, that might become difficult. But once it's all in there, I was pretty impressed with it. And I like the security that it's going to give the Switch. So, I mean, that was the main reason to get the case, and that's what I'm going to do with it. So, looking at the other side of it, where the pouch is, we can test. Now I'd like to test some accessories to see how that all kind of fits in there with the Switch. So looking at this pouch, I mean, the cable goes in no problem. So you can imagine that's kind of a thicker cable, 10-foot cable, slides right in there, super easy, and it really only fills up about half of that pouch. Everything's super snug in there, nothing's really moving around, and it feels really great and really strong. So the next thing that I'd like to test is the AC adapter cable that came with the Switch. So when I first saw that pouch, I was kind of excited because I knew the shape of that Nintendo Switch adapter was kind of elongated and had the prongs on the side. So I was excited to see if this would all fit in here. So let's check it out. I mean, space-wise, it definitely it fits in there, you know. I mean, it's in there along with that other cable. It's not getting jammed in there. I mean, there's enough room, but look, you know, it's just you're not going to be able to close this case with the AC adapter inside. It's just not going to happen. So don't count on that. Your AC plug is going to have to go into a separate bag. There's no way that is going to happen. The next thing that we can try is the iPad USB cable adapter. So that does fit in there. Oh, it's a little more streamlined. It still feels like it's kind of bulging a bit. And when I put it in there with the cable and close it up, you're gonna see here, it closes, but you can feel where that USB adapter is. You can feel with your thumb. It's really hard right in that spot because it's butting right to that screen. So, I mean, if you had to transport this and you weren't going very far and you weren't throwing this into a bag with other books or a computer that could kind of crush it and potentially damage the screen, if it was just maybe going on a car seat for a short ride, I would be okay with it, but I would not, definitely not suggest putting that in any kind of a situation where any pressure will be applied to the outside of that case. So I would say, emergency situations only, whatever that would be. So this is the smallest option, which is this just your normal iPhone charging USB adapter. And that's the smallest USB adapter that I have in this house readily available. Putting it in there, it certainly is a bit more streamlined than the iPad adapter. I can still kind of feel that block inside of there, and it would make me concerned. Not as concerned as the last kind of the 10-volt charger, but I mean, you could see that. I'm going to put them side by side right here, so you can just tell. I mean, it's just a bit. It's just a bit better, you know. So if that, for example, if that felt kind of inner pouch was the length of the entire case, I might feel a little bit better kind of loading up that accessories area. But because I know that if I put something hard in there, it's going to press directly onto the other side of the unit, whether it's the Joy-Con or the side of the screen, it's going to make me pretty nervous. So I would say, if that the case could be described could be, designed a little bit better in terms of the protection on the inside. Although it is really high and really great, but I mean, look, it's kind of hard to get in and out. The biggest con of this case is that you have to have the Joy-Cons attached to the Switch to put it inside of this case and to have it be secured. So I didn't realize that at first. I didn't realize that while I was buying it, but for you, I would highly suggest taking that into consideration before you purchase this case, because you're not going to be able to get any protection whatsoever if you do not have those Joy-Cons attached. So, I mean, I'm going to check out what else is out there. But look, I mean, if you use the Joy-Cons a lot, you don't mind either keeping them on all the time or taking them on and off, and you're traveling with light accessories, cable only, no chargers, then this is a just fine case. The quality of the build on the outside is high. I think that Orzly did a good job with that. It's branded, but I would say it's probably not for me. So this has been my review of the Orzly Nintendo Switch carry case, and I really appreciate you watching The People's Unboxer. I hope to continue doing videos. I'd love to do more, and hopefully I can give you the quality review that you need and deserve. So until next time, like and see you then.